Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. The katha began, not able to hear properly. The katha began with a beautiful background, a backdrop of two important characters. One is the teacher, one is the father, also the teacher of Nachiketas. The second was the student. And the teacher and the guru in his first stage of life was a ritualist, his father. He was conducting a ritual where he was supposed to give up all his possessions. But on the other hand, as against the rule or against the norm, he was just giving old dilapidated cows. The cows that have drank the last water, that has consumed the last grass that it can do in its life, and it has become an utter failure. The final milk has been removed. Looking at that, it's okay. Looking at that, the boy Nachiketas was concerned about the outcome of that ritual. Meaning, one who has not completely given up all his possessions is not eligible for Swarga Prapti, even if he has done the rituals correctly. So the dhanam is very important at the end of the ritual, which is also known as dakshina. Dakshinasu niyamanasu, as it is given there. Thus the boy understood that the father lacks some understanding about impermanence of things. That is why he referred the impermanence of worldly life as sasyamiva martyaha, like that of the corns, the individual beings, they are subject to death. Sasyamiva ajayate punaha. Again they are born. Birth and death is unavoidable, and also indicates that since you have not completed this yajna correctly, you will not go to heaven, you will come back. Also, it's because of his Shraddha on the Shastra. So we saw that, and then he reached the abode of Mrityu, because his father had said, go to death, or I will give it to death. Not understanding what he really meant, probably. He might have said out of anger, but to keep the words of his father alive and true, he proceeded. Now, what is death? In this context, did he really go to the abode of death? As Gurudev writes in his commentary in page number 18 in my book, at this juncture, Chinmaya pauses to answer some gross doubts raised by some of the hasty readers. Some inquire, how exactly could mortal child enter at will the world of death? So here death is to be understood in a right context. One is that when we look at the world around and we realize that everything is subject to change and the final change is death, when we realize that, how is our relationship with everything? Even this will pass away. Not only worldly things and objects, but also our going through various experiences, joy or sorrow. When we realize that everything that is happening to us, either in an external world of experience of objects, or the world of emotions and the feelings, etc., all of them are temporary. When we realize this, our approach to that will be different. It is like when you take a pack of cigarettes and then the cover it says smoking causes cancer. If you realize that it is true, what is your attitude towards that anymore? I don't need it anymore because I know what is going to happen. If I do not believe in that statement, then I will take one and then start. In the same way, that's why Shraddha Avivesha. The boy is not just a learner, but who has great amount of faith in what he has learned. So he was concerned about his father, and therefore he also said that what you are doing is not correct. And he himself, thus a practitioner of this knowledge, he had understood what the death means. This is how we should know that he has reached the abode of death. We'll come to this later on after some time. And it is also said, he went there and stayed for 3 full days and nights in the abode of death. This also has a lot of implications. It has direct meaning, indirect meaning also. But it is said in the verse that we concluded, in the verse number 7, Vaishvanaraha pravishati atitir brahmano gruhan tasyedam shantim kurvanti hara vaivasvata udakam. Brahmanaha is like Vaishvanara. Another name for Agni is Vaishvanara. Is it not that in 15th chapter we chant Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritah Pranapana Samayuktah Pachamyannam Chadurvidam. Vaishvanaraha, Agnihi, Jatara Agni it is called. Thus, fire that is in our stomach. So Agni is Vaishvanara. And Brahmana is also considered as an Agni for many different reasons. Let us look at it 2-3 ways. First thing is that a Brahmana is a Agni because first he has destroyed the ignorance. About worldly things he has clarity. He does not have too much of desire to fulfill. For his life has been dedicated to serving the Lord through various rituals, etc. So therefore, a Brahmana by tradition is a person who lives like Agni, in whom everything is sacrificed. He doesn't own anything. He is not supposed to own anything. Like fire, when you offer, it just disappears. It doesn't keep it. That is one thing. Second, he is brilliant by knowledge. Tejas. A Brahmana should have a tejas, not because he puts extra makeup. 3 foundation, 4 foundations, ऐसा नहीं है. Tejas is because his clarity in thinking, therefore mind is not confused. The face is, whenever we say, clear. There are some people whose eyes itself will show that they are unclear. The shifting eyes. If you talk to them, they keep shifting their eyes constantly, which shows their mind is not sure about anything. Mind is constantly shifting. Like when you are sleeping, if you look at a person who is lying and dreaming, his eyes will be moving. I mean, not eyes, that eyeballs will be moving. That means he is not sleeping. It's called what? Rapid eye movement or something like that. So a mind which is confused and disturbed will be seen in the eyes that are unsteady. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says that keep your eyes focused on the center of your eyebrows. Dishascha anavalokayan. He uses anavalokayan. Dishascha anavalokayan. Don't look at here and there. So tejas, that is a second. That is the brilliance that of the fire. Third is, a fire is used to show a marga. Light is necessary to look at where we are going. A Brahmana's role in the society is to give guidance, upadesha, adesha. So like the fire, one has to have burnt all his personal desires, tejas because of the knowledge that he has got, and also the role that he plays is to guide others. And so it's a fire. This is one aspect of it. The second aspect is that, like the fire is used for all rituals, in our Vedic rituals, first thing you invoke is fire. Because fire is Agni. The name for fire is Agni. Agni means Agre Nayadi Tasmat. Agre, beginning, forefront. Nayati, leads. So whatever we offer into the fire, we only offer into the fire, but the result of which is taken to the lords or devatas, who all will bless us for the offering that we have made. Who is the divine courier service? Agni. So Agni is a one which is connection between this world and the other world. So when thus a fire is considered as the connecting link between this Martyaloka and Devaloka, so is also a Brahmana is a connection link between Martyaloka and Devaloka. And Gurudev writes it as a Brahmana is a double-edged weapon. If you treat him properly, he will connect you to the highest. If you don't, it's like Vighna Karta, Vighna Harta also. Bhagavan Ganesha is known as what? Vighna Karta or Vighna Harta also. If you don't worship him properly, he will do all troubles. If you don't worship him properly, he will remove all troubles. So a double-edged weapon. Meaning what? That a Brahmana is an Atithi. An Atithi, in fact, every Atithi should be, everybody who is coming to our doorstep should be considered, without telling, because should be understood as Bhagavan itself, Bhagavan himself, Ishvara. It is interesting, people go to temple and other places to worship God, but when it comes to somebody who is coming to home, they won't treat them properly. Anyone who comes to our doorstep who did not inform that he is coming, he is an Atithi. He should be treated like Bhagavan has come to receive something from me. This is the second aspect of it. Third one is, usually a Brahmana is a Jignasu, one who is seeking knowledge. The way you treat a Grihastha Aditi and a Jignasu Aditi are two different things. If you are somebody who is a Grihastha or a person who is a householder and he comes to your home, then what you would say? Abaito, I eat and then I will give you some of whatever upacharas that you do. And you may also say that why not you stay for more, treat this as your own home. We say that? Treat it as like your home and stay. But that should not be done with a sannyasin. Because by nature, a jignasu, a jnani, a sannyasi would not stay or would not like to stay in someone's home more than one night. They are called parivrajakaha. They continuously move like a wind. And they do not get attached to anybody that easily, because their attachment only is Bhagavan. And therefore, when one is treating a Brahmana as an Aditi versus a Grihastha as an Aditi, the difference in the treatment. And while thus a Brahmana has come as an Aditi, as a guest, if one is not treated properly, tradition goes that like the fire he will burn. That is the reason, as when in class we saw that the water is offered to appease that fire. Just like a fire comes, what do? Talk to it. First thing is how to quieten it, how to appease it. So here, in the next verse, what will happen if one is not treating this Aditi properly? Asha pratikshe sangatam sunrutam cha ishtapurte putra pashumscha sarvan etat vrungte purushasyanyamedas etat vrungte purusha salpamedasah yasmanashnan yasyadashnan vasadi brahmano grihe yasyanashnan. Yasya grihe, in whose house, Brahmanaha anashnan vasati. Vasati stays. Anashnan, without eating. Ashnam became kashnam. Ashna means to eat. Ashnute. So, anashnan, without eating. Yasya grihe brahmanaha vasati, in whose house a person, a brahmana, an aditi, a jignasu lives without eating, in that house, all that one has will be completely removed. This is not to threaten anybody. It is to say, traditionally, one should maintain that culture of hospitality. What are the things that will be removed or will be destroyed? Asha, pratikshe. Asha and pratiksha. Asha is hope and pratiksha is expectation. Asha is desiring for something which is presently unknown. Pratiksha is desiring for something which is known to happen, but you are waiting. Prati-iksha, pratiksha. Iksha, to see, prati, towards. You are looking towards something which is yet to happen, but you know it is going to happen. But that which you may not know will happen or not, but about that also you have a desire. That is called hope. Don't you say when we are not sure about something, I hope, right? But expectation is what? I know, but this is about to happen. I'm expecting. Like expecting a rain, you say. You're waiting in the platform and then you're expecting a train. Because it's going to come. But if that flight is there saying, then constantly they are saying expected time of arrival and it keeps on changing, ETA, it's supposed to be 2 o'clock and then it becomes 4 o'clock, it becomes 8 o'clock. That is called Asha. I don't know whether it's going to happen. In our life, we have both Asha and Pratiksha. But if our heart is filled with Asha, we are dasas. This is a beautiful verse which says, Ashayaha ye dasaha te dasaha sarvalokasya. If a person is a subservient to Asha, he is a servant of the whole world. Because I am hoping something to happen which I really desire, then whoever is able to give me, I will become a servant of that person only. So, a Asha or a hope will make you a servant in this world. Asha yesham dasi. When you are keeping the Asha as your servant, tesham dasayate lokaha. And the world becomes your friend, your servant. So, Asha Pratiksha. So, Asha Pratiksha. So, this, when a Brahmana is not treated properly as an Aditi, your Asha and Pratiksha, both. Sangatam. Sangatam. All that which one owns, that also goes away. Sunrutam, Priyavak. All the sweet words that one would say, due to which a person has gained some punya, that also. Not cheshta purte, cha ishta purte. It's written, I do not know how it is split. Asha pratikshe sangatam sunrutam cha ishta purte. That's one thing about English, I mean Sanskrit, you know. If you don't put cha separately, it becomes cheshta purte. Cha ishta. Ishta means any rituals as prescribed by the Vedas, when it is performed, it's called ishta. Anything that you do for the social cause, that is called purta, purti. Ishta purte, putra pashums cha sarvan. One's own children, one's own wealth. Here, pashu literally means, you know, cattle. But in today's world, it is not cattle. BMW. These are all your cattle. They are taking you somewhere here and there. Vahanas. Etat vrungte. Gurudev used to say this vrungte word very beautifully. Vrungte. So vrungte means vrgl away. It will be just taken out of the. And these people who are thus do not have the knowledge of how to treat, they are not insulting, but they do not know how to treat. Therefore, alpa medasaha. Alpa means little. Medas means knowledge here. Those who have little knowledge do not know how to treat people. Nowadays, if you go to anybody's house, especially in India, if there's some TV things are going on, some serial. People see serial, eat serial, but they never see real. You go, you are the most unwanted guest. You go knock at the door. Yes, I am here. Who is this? Anyway, he'll get up and then, how are you? Sit down. They're still watching the serial. So after once the serial is over, between these breaks, advertise. So how are you nowadays? So you came in the town. Yeah. Your daughter is here, right? Yeah, and then the advertisement is over. No. After another 10 minutes, you're out. Alpamedasa. People who do not know how to treat Aditi. So therefore, yasya anashnan grihan brahmanaha vasati. In that house, definitely there will be greater amount of calamity that will happen. It is as good as the fire coming and you open the fire and don't attend to it. What will happen? If you don't take care of it, it will spread and burn everything. It's like when you are working on near the stove, and once this cooking is over, you make sure that it is switched off. If it is open fire, anything will fall, and if it is catches fire, you cannot stop it. So is the power of a Brahmana. Especially when he is a Vairagya Purusha, a person of great amount of dispassion, he is to be considered with like so much of caution. Not that he will curse or anything, that's not the point. It is the Bhagavan himself will feel insulted, that's the point. This person may be very compassionate, loving, understanding everything, he will not say anything. But the Bhagavan will feel insulted because you have insulted the one who is worshipping me, who is a great devotee of mine, and you are not treating him properly in that way. So how long he stayed? It is said 3 nights. 3 nights he stayed without taking any food there. Now, why he didn't take the food? That is another question. Why is he just, trying to find out whether Yama has that much of patience or not to treat me? It is said in the tradition that a Brahmana, when he comes home, a Aditi, when he comes home, it is said that the Yajaman of the house is the one who is supposed to do the samman. Many houses, when I go there for bhiksha or anything, one house I remember distinctly, long time back. So the boy has no samskar. At least the parents did not teach any samskar to that boy. So when I was about to leave, and that lady was supposed to give me some flowers for the puja. So she gave it to that boy and gave it to Swamiji. So that fellow took the bouquet and then he was standing. Then he was about to leave. Swami, here you are. And he threw it at me. So I said, I will take it. But then I told that the lady felt very bad. No, that is not the way to give. Touch Swamiji's feet. He took his foot and touched me. Well, could not. He's a small boy, but I mean. I said to the mother, you should show how to do it. Because you cannot expect the child to know it by himself. If he has never seen, how will he know? So whoever has the correct samskara, to that person you address. One who does not have the correct samskara, you address, what is the point? So at home only we have to teach these basic culture to the children, and you cannot expect them to know by themselves. So here the boy was not sure who is at home who knows. This is one thing. Second is, he had been sent by his father for what purpose? Not to go and sit and eat in some place. If my father has sent me to the abode of Yama, it is to say that I have to learn something greater than what I have learned so far. As he is asked this question to himself, Bahunam emi pratamaha, bahunam emi madhyamaha. Yamasya kim kartavyam maya? What is that Yama has got to do with me? Even though I am among the best of the students, I may be one, or even Madhyama, I am the one. Therefore, I am not here to come to the Yama's place to sit and enjoy and then as a vacation. I am here to learn. And the one who can teach me is not here. So what should I do? Wait. So the 3 days and 3 nights, he patiently waited there. Tisro ratri yata vasid grihe me anashnan brahman atitir namasyah Namastestu Brahman swasti me astu Tasmat praditrin varan brunishva. Hey Brahman, very interesting. Yama, having understood that this boy has resided 3 days in my house, did not eat anything, must be a man of such self-control. A person of great self-control alone can remain calm and quiet without blaming anybody, quietly sitting there waiting. And there was no anger or frustration in the boy's face at all. As even Yama realized that this boy has come, and his own household people, the men, at home they have said that there is a boy waiting, you go, please take water and go. He took the water and went and reached that boy, and that boy is smilingly looking at him. Quietly, patiently. Hey Brahman. See, here he didn't say Brahmana. Because from the standpoint of Yama, this boy is a person, a jignasu, one who is seeking knowledge. And anyone who is really seeking the right knowledge is Brahman only. Because if he has this much of tenacity, Shama, Dhamma, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhan, sab hai uske paas. It's a question of time. I have to just indicate to him, he will realize it. Purity of mind is there. Hey Brahman, Namasya, you are worthy of worship. Now, Yama, he is going to be the teacher here. Of what? Brahma Vidya. A Brahma Vidya Adhyapakaha, he is addressing the disciple as Brahman. Think about that humility that he has. I am a guru and you are after all a Shishya. Sit down there. Isn't it? The teacher has so much of reverence towards his own student, saying, hey Brahman, Namasya. You are worthy of my salutations. Now you see, Yamaha, himself being a man of Brahma Vidya, what kind of a duty he has? He was also doing duty, that's why he was not there. He had a very tight schedule of, he might have gone North Carolina or somewhere also. Finished 3 days of work and came. He is a karma palaka, he is a dharma palaka. He is maintaining his duty as a one who gives the phala for all the karmas and making sure that all these jivas who have completed their tenure are to be taken away. Now, so is there any contradiction between his karma palanam versus his jnanam that he possesses as with the Brahma Vidya? Now you see, if you take a pot and that pot is made of mud, but that same pot is also used for holding some water or whatever in this. If the pot realizes I am not just a container of water or anything that is put in me, but I by nature is mud. One is what is my karma and another is what is my swarup. What is my swarup? The pot will realize By Swarupa, by nature, I am mud, but has taken the form of a pot. And the pot has a karma, a function, a utility. If you understand this, in the same way, in ourselves also, we should not think our jnanam, what we have and what we do is in clash with each other. Not at all. Should not be. That is a true knowledge. That is a complete knowledge. Now, if I ask you this question, if you are a householder, taking care of your children, taking care of your wife, taking care of your household, everything is there, but have you forgotten that you are a human being? Are you a human being or a husband? You say both. How can it be both? Being a human being, how can you be a householder? Is there any clash there? There is no clash. Why? Human being is at one level. Okay, I am a human being, I am a Hindu, I am a Brahmana, I am a householder. Is there any clash here between these 4 or 5 identification of yours? I am a human being, I am a Hindu, I am a Brahmana, let us say, or whatever, Kshatriya, whatever be it, and I am doing a work, or I am a householder. There is no clash here, because each one is at a different level of awareness. I as a human being is awareness. I as a Hindu or Christian or whatever is another awareness. I as a householder is another awareness. They don't clash with each other. In the same way, one who realizes my nature is the highest Satchidananda Swarupa Aham, that awareness will not be disturbed if you have the complete knowledge of it while working in this world. And such a person is only Jivan Mukta. He does not deny his role in the world while he is aware of who he is. So here, when Yama is saluting his student, he recognizes that this is a student who has come for Brahma Vidya. And I, as a Yama, as a householder, I have to treat him as an Atiti to start with. Namasyaha Brahman Atitihi. Namaste astu Brahman. Twice he says that. In his mind, he has saluted him, and physically also he salutes to him. Tisro Ratri Yad Avasit. You have stayed 3 nights in my house. Grihe me, in my house. Namaste astu Brahman. O Brahman, salutations to you. And Swasti me astu. May I gain auspiciousness with your blessing. Me Swasti astu. Since you lived for or stayed for 3 nights, therefore, tasmat pratitrin vranan vranishva. Tasmat, therefore, since you stayed for 3 nights, teen vranan vranishva. 3 of the boons you please ask for. Now, we have to understand here one more thing. What are the 3 means? 3 nights. First is that we are continuously product of or experiencers of 3 kinds of thoughts that happen in our mind: Tamasika, Rajasika and Sattvika. Now, most of you, I cannot say 100%, all of you, most of you are in a Sattvik mode right now. Because when you are doing a Jnana Shravanam, you are in Sattvik mode only. Meaning, when you are ready to listen to knowledge, the mind takes the Sattvik attitude. When you are enjoying your food and sitting near the table and enjoying, it is a Rajasikam. But when you are, even while the class is going on, slowly, I think some of the things he tells me I already know. Let me take some rest. Tamasic. For a jignasu, for a seeker of knowledge and higher realization, he has to overcome these three influences of the mind. This is to say, he has to overcome the identification with Sthula, Sukshma and Karana Sharir. Gross, subtle and causal bodies he has to overcome. So 3 nights means he has already surpassed 3 moods of the mind, 3 identification of the limited self. And also in the 3 nights, did he go to sleep or not? No. Which means he has already crossed the 3 avasthas, states of mind called waking, dream and deep sleep. In him, therefore, so much of self-control. He also has overcome his identification with the entirety of the world, which is referred as Virata, Hiranyagarbha and Ishwar. The influence of the cosmic world, influence of the thought world, influence of the matter world. So he has reached a point of total tranquility, stillness. Therefore, the Yama says, now you are ready for receiving true boon from me for that. It is not to be misconstrued that he felt so bad. Yama felt so bad. This fellow did not eat for 3 days. Let me give something to him. Isn't it? He has understood the caliber of the student. Therefore, it is said, 3 nights you receive. You have to receive 3 different boons. This is one thing. Ratri means what? Night. What happens in the night? Night is where your samsara temporarily comes to an end. Is it not? All that I need to do during the day, when I finish or I have not completed, then what do? Kal karenge bhai. What are you trying to do is you are ending your engagement in the world as an individual. 3 nights means 3 different, 3 times you have already left, kept away. Which means what? Samsara kshaya has taken place. In the case of this boy, he has kept away from his usual engagement in this world and exclusively sitting there. Now, often it happens to most of us, whenever we get anything that we have not even thought of, what we say, prarabdha balat aa gaya hai. Due to prarabdha, I have if somebody gets a lottery or somebody gets something which he never expected, something happens the way one wants, immediately what we say, I have good prarabdha, I think. That's why I am getting all these things even without even asking for it. But I am telling you, when a person gets a vairagya, that is a true prarabdha. For a householder, getting material thing is prarabdha phalam. For a jignasu, for a student of Vedanta, not getting is good because vairagya increases. This vairagya abhivruddhi, that is real prarabdha. Prarabdha means what? It is a result of the good actions of the past. It need not be in the form of dhanadhanyam. It's on the other hand, it is more of vairagya. And this boy could have enjoyed the joy of food, etc. But he said, my prarabdha that I have to now experience is not to engage in that. That's why he developed that vairagya. So thus he had become fit student of this Yama, and thus he gave him 3 boons. It is said that one person, did the rubbing against a, what do you call that? A holy lamp, or what do you call that? Genie came out. So he said, what do you want? 3 boons you can ask. Ask for anything. He said, I want bottomless cup of beer. Meaning, even as I keep drinking, it should never end. He said, yes, you take the first boon, bottomless beer. Beer, what do you call? Beer bottle. So he was drinking and he finished as though, and then it again filled up. He finished. Nowadays, they know if you go to cruise, etc., refill. You drink it, keep it there, filled up. You again drink it, keep it there, filled up. So he was drinking, but nobody else filled. He filled himself. So he was so thrilled. So the genie asked, you didn't ask for the next 2 boons. He said, give me 2 more bottles of the same thing. What stupid? Anyway, those who think it is stupid only. So first boon, what do you want? See, usually when somebody asks you, I'll give you 3 gifts, what do you want? What do we say? We will choose something which will immediately satisfy us. But Nachiketa was not like that. He said, first thing I want is that will make my father happy. So here he says, Shanta sankalpaha sumanayata syat. Vitamanyur gautamo mabhimrutyo. Tvat prasrishtam mabhivadet pratitah. Etatrayanam pratamam varam vrune. Hey Mrityo, O death. First thing I want is Yata Shanta Sankalpaha Sumanaha Syat Vitamanyuhu Gautamaha. Gautamaha, his father, also is known as Gautama. My father Gautama, O death, let him become Shanta Sankalpaha. The word Sankalpa means, coming from the root word Klip in Sanskrit, means to imagine. Kalpana. Kalpana karna hai, kalp. So Sankalp means to have your own imagined world. It can be good or bad. But in the case of this Gautama, the father of Nachiketa, what he was going through after he left, after Nachiketa left home, he was really disturbed. What did I do? What mistake I have committed in the altar of the Lord? I have made a statement and my son is so obedient and faithful that he just left. Secondly, where did I send him? I sent him to the abode of Yama. And once anybody who goes to abode of Yama will not return. So I became the cause of my own son's disappearance. This way, his mind was in a remorse. Therefore, Nachiketa says, let such a mind be quiet. Shanta Sankalpaha. Second, Sumanaha. Sumanas. Sumana means Sushtumanaha, pure mind. He understood my father had some amount of impurity because of which he was not able to give all that he possessed, and that resulted here in what I am. Therefore, let my father gain purity of mind. Sumana. Sumanas also means in Sanskrit flower. A flower by nature is that which opens on its own. And when it opens up, it brings out beauty and fragrance. In other words, when you say Sumanaha, what it means is, let our mind be pure enough that it is very spontaneously open and bring out the inner fragrance outside. That is the beauty of the mind. It doesn't have any such impurities to become close. Let the mind of my father be pure and open. Second, yatha syat, as it has to be. Vita manyuhu, manyuhu means anger. Perhaps because of anger at the time at the altar I said, whom are you sending me? Whom are you sending me? So out of anger only he said, go to death. That manyu, that anger, that rage, let it be appeased. Third. And fourth thing is very clearly saying, pratitaha. Pratitaha means, let him remember me. Because if I go back, if anybody says, I just came back from death, first you look at, are you real? Are you floating? So let him remember that it is my son. मृत्यु से वापस आ गया है वो, मेरा पुत्र है और जीव है. He is still a living being. And very clearly, see, in one single statement he had achieved so many things. That's the beauty of this. Tvat prasrishtam ma abhivadet. Tvat prasrishtam, released by you. Let him talk to me, having recalled me about that it is the same son. This is what I want as the firstborn. In the firstborn, he covered almost everything. First thing is, he made sure that he is going back. See? He says very clear, this statement is, when I am released from your hand, when I go back, recognizing me as his own son, my father who will be quiet in the mind, peaceful in the mind, also he, without anger, welcome me. That's all. So 4 or 5 things he achieved in one statement. So Yama just smiled and said, this fellow, he's really one. He knows how to say and get things done. He's now analyzing the character. So this is really a good person to really take into account. So then immediately Yama says, I am granting you that varam. That varam I immediately grant you. Yata purastat bhavita pratitaha औद्दालकी आरुणिर्मत् प्रसृष्टः सुखं रात्रि शयिता वीतमन्युः त्वां ददृशिवान् मृत्युमुखात् प्रमुक्तम् mat prasrishtaha, released by me. Srij is to create, srishti. Srishtaha, come out. Prasrishtaha, released. Mat prasrishtaha, released from me. Released by me, when you go there, your father, who is also, he has another 2 more names. There are many names for him. Audalaki, Uddalaka's son, Audalaki, Aruni is also Aruna's son. Because Aruni. Audhalaki Aruni mat prasrishta yata purastat, as before, meaning you don't become changed. You will be exactly the same way as your father has seen you before. Pratitaha bhavita, recalling very clearly you, remembering you. Sukham ratrihi shayita vitamanyuhu. You will be sleeping quietly in the night without any anger. When tvam dadrishavan mrityumukat pramuktam. Tvam dadrishavan, looking at you very clearly, one who has been released from mrityumukat, from the mouth of death. From the mouth of death. Which means this your father will have absolutely no doubt that you are alive and you have been released by me, and therefore he will recall you very clearly, and he will have no more anger. He will sleep well in the night as he used to before he left his home. So this is just simple, straightforward vara that is complete. So there is nothing more to say about it. But then the second one is the most important in this context now. He is going to ask you. Now, first question he asked about his father's welfare. That is, his family is taken care. Usually, whenever we want to do anything to the world, charity begins at home. Right? Some people are there who may do many things in this outside world, but they don't take care of anything at home. There was one lady who was, she wanted to do some social service, this and that. So she had a little young child at home. And so what she did, she left it to the servant to take care of the child, and she went to her social club. And the social club has taken a new project of, it's called inner circle, what do you call that? Inner city circle. That is right? Inner city. What do you call the inner city? Some people are homeless and this and that, or the poor people. So inner city circle they have taken up, and then they have taken a orphanage, not orphanage, a babysitting unit where the poor children are being taken care. And all these women are to go there and spend 2-3 hours with those children. So she went there and took care of all the small, young, poor children. And later on she realized that one of the child was that servant's child. So now you tell me, could have stayed at home and taken care of your own child first. You give your child to the servant, and the servant child you take care. Kya baat hai? And will I take care of children. That's one of them is mine. Charity always should begin at home. So first take care of the requirements at home. So that's what he did first. My father should be quiet and peaceful, and his anger should go away, and he will welcome me with remembering me. I have come back from the death. Good. Second is samajically. For the benefit of the world, I must ask something from this Yama. What is that can benefit to the world? What will be the most beneficial to the world? Certain things the worldly people may not know, but knowing which they will become better. Let me ask that question. Therefore he says, Swarge loke na bhayam kinchanasti na tatratvam na jaraya bibeti ubetirtva shanaya pipase shokadiko modate swargaloke. Swarge loke na bhayam kinchana asti. It is believed that what is called heaven is where there is no fear. Bhayam kinchana asti. Na. There is no fear. You know why? Because most of our fears are with respect to physical body and its welfare. When the physical body is getting old or fallen sick, that fear is the most traumatizing, either of your own or somebody else's. In the Swargaloka, a person when he reaches, he doesn't have the physical body. With the physical body, you can't go there. At the border itself, you will be denied, passport will be thrown away because the visa will not be available. Leave your body and come. It was only that Srishanku wanted to go with the body. He is not allowed. He was thrown out. You are not supposed to enter here. So, Swarge loke na bhayam kinchana asti. Kasmat karanat na sthula shariram asti. Tasmat. There is no physical body. The physical body related, all these dukkhas are not there. Therefore, there is no fear. There is no fear of death. It is that there was one, this is one joke I read long time back. So, one couple was there, they were 90-year-old, very healthy people, very conscious about their diet. Because somebody asked, why are you dieting? Because they said, I don't want to die eating. So, both of them were very conscious, and especially the wife never gave anything fatty to her husband. And anyway, he adjusted to that kind of lifestyle because many women know, what a husband wants. That's what they think. One man said, my wife is so intuitive, she knows that I am wrong even before I speak anything. That much she is intuitive. Anyway, so they met with an accident and both of them died. So then they were taken to the heavens, and then there St. Peter or somebody, they were showing, you are going to live in this huge palatial house. Wow. So he looked at that house, it's beautiful. And behind was 18-hole golf court. Wow, 18-hole, and always sun. Sun is always there. Wow, this is a beautiful place. Yeah. And how much I have to pay for a golf club? Nothing, No, you can play anytime you want. And the caddy is always waiting for you, And cart also, you can go anytime. So, and he showed all the various beautiful other facilities, and then they came to the kitchen, spread of all varieties of food, pizza, lasagna, Chinese, and pastries, very tasty pastries. How much I have to pay for this? What do you mean by you pay for this? You can eat as much as you want. But if I eat so much, I will die. He said, you already dead. That man suddenly started crying very loud. So the wife asked, what happened, dear? She said, if I had known that, I would have come earlier. You put me on such a diet. But there is no ashana, there is no hunger and thirst also. That is another thing. There is no fear of death anyway, because he says, natatra tvam. He says, Yama, you are not there. So in the Swargya loke na bhayam kinchanasti natatra tvam. Na jaraya bibedi. There is no old age. Ube tirtva, having crossed both, what? Ashanaya, pipase. Pipasa means thirst. Ashana means the Hashanaya pipase, together as hunger and thirst. There is no more hunger and thirst. There is no death to be afraid of. There is no physical body to die. There is no old age. Wow. Shoka adigaha. Shogam adigachadidi. Beyond the sorrow, modade swargaloke. This is the concept of Swarga. Everybody enjoys this world of heaven, and where there is constant joy. Is it not? Yama nods. Yes, you are right. Now, my question is, how to reach there? You teach me this now. Sattvamagnim swargyamatyeshi mrutyo prabruhitam shraddhadanaya mahyam swargaloka amrutatvam bhajante etat dvitiyena vrune varena. He says, Hey Mrityo, O death, Tvam Saha Swargam Adyeshi. Adyeshi, you know. You know that particular ritual, a fire related to that, meaning their fire ritual, that will take one to Swarga. Swargamagnim Tvam Swargamagnim Adyeshi. You know the heavenly fire that can lead to heaven, you know. Mahyam Shraddhadanaya Tam Bruhi. Tam Agnim, that particular ritual, Bruhi, please tell me, because I am a person of faith. Shraddhadanaya Mahyam. Who has faith? If you tell a person who does not have a faith, it will have no effect. Even before you tell anything, do you believe what I am going to say? Yes, and then I will tell you. If somebody says, you tell, let me see. Then even in that Gita also, Bhagavan says, you are anasuya. Then only I will tell you. Idam tute guhyadamam pravakshami anasuyave. Jnanam vijnana sayidam yajñatva mokshase ashubhat. So a person must have faith, then only that knowledge will be get transferred. The very word Shraddha means, Shrad means Satyam. Dha means Dharati. Satyam Dharanatva Shraddha ityuchyate. Because it holds the truth. A faith is that which sustains the truth. The very sustaining power of the Satyam is the Shraddha. If faith is not there, the Satyam will not remain there. You always confide to the person who trusts you or whom you trust, isn't it? Somebody who you know he doesn't trust you, to him you will not confide anything. So he says, Shraddhadanaya Mahyam Prabruhi Tam Swargyamagnim Buruhi. Tell me. Because I know Swargalokaha, Swarge Lokaha, people in the heaven, Amrutatvam Bhajante. They enjoy immortality. Therefore, I want to know that particular science. Etat dvitiyena varena vrune. Vrune, I choose as the second boon. Now, in general, in most religions, the idea of heaven is overemphasized, so to say. Even in Hindu scriptures, you will find in the Puranas, etc. Oh, he did so much of ritual and this much of punya, and therefore, Swarga Prapti. So, in the Vedic times, it is not any other thing other than a particular set of rituals that are prescribed. These rituals are sure to give an individual the eligibility to go to heaven. Of course, they will also ask for certain very strict tapas or austerities. But before even taking up the austerity, one should know what that science is all about. See, if you are diving into the water to find what is underwater, what are the, kind of living, everything is there, you should know swimming. Huh? I don't know swimming, I'll just get into the water. Then what happens? Somebody has to rescue you there. Many people when they stand to jump into that scuba diving, right, they call it as, they always fall below like this, right? Do you know why? Because if they fall in the front, they will be inside the boat. That's why. Interesting. I always wonder why they have to do that. Anyway, so here, okay, you asked for the second bone, which is about the ritual. I'll tell you this. Prateve brahmimi tadume niboda swargyamagnim nachiketa prajanan anantalokaptimato pratishtam vidditvametam nihitam guhayam. Te pravimi. I will prabravimi actually. Pra is put a little before. Te prabravimi. I will explain to you clearly. Bru bravati bravimi. I shall speak to you about that. Me niboda. Listen to me carefully. Learn from me. Niboda means learn. Me from me. Tadu me niboda. That you learn from me. What is that? He Nachiketa, Swargamagnim Prajanan me. Me, the one who knows what this Swarga Agni means. Meaning, your assumption is right that I have this knowledge. Because I am the one who has seen what happens to the karma of individuals and where they go. Therefore, I know who are the people who have done the punya karma and who are eligible to go to heaven. Therefore, I have the knowledge of this which you have asked for. So, Swargyamagnyam prajanan me te bravimi niboda, come to learn. And this knowledge, the science of ritual that will take you to heaven, anantaloka aptim. It will reach you to anantaloka, endless different kinds of worlds. Heaven is not one place, it has various grades also. It depends upon what an amount of punya you have done. Chota punya means quickly you come back. But by the time you open up a close you are already back there. It is like when you go to Disneyland, the amount of time that you spend depends upon, the ticket that you buy. So I do not know. Maybe there is a season ticket, whatever it is there. But some of the rides are very quick. By the time you understand, put the bill, it's over. It's just come back. What happened there? It is like when we went to this, our Vaishnav Devi temple, there in Himalayas. We had all the way, we went all over the place. And then when you go into the main shrine, there are 3 Devis are there. And they, quick, like in the Telugu, jargandi, oh, chalo, come on. Once it so happened, that person came out. What were we supposed to see there? There were 3 deities. I didn't see that. Something else was there. But can I go again? Another 3 hours you have to stand in the queue. Chalo, theek hai. So before you go there, you should prepare in your mind, what am I going to see? And the person came out and said, then what? What do you mean, then what? You already finished. Then what? So, it is like, there is a particular spice that is available in this Asian, right? Always forget that. What is it called? Some green little one. What is it? That's something very... Wasabi. If you put it in your tongue little more, somebody hit me on the head, nothing but you took that. So there are different levels of this Swarga also. Some of them you go and you come back within no time. You will never know what happened. Some of them are longer. Ananta lokaptim ato pradishtam. So, and where is it pradishtha? Virate pradishtham. The entire world of these devils of heavens are also residing within the Virat. Virata is the cosmic physical being. It's not the world. It's the entire cosmos in its physical dimension is called Virat. The very word Virat means Vividam Rajate idi Virata. That which shines in different ways. Virat. Rat means Raja, Rajate. Virat. So, it is presented in Virata. And the interesting thing is Vidhi tvam etam, come to know etam, Vidhi. This come to know this. And where you will come to know this? Nihitam guhaya, in your own intellect. Nihitam, placed, guhayam, buddho. The knowledge of this is, even though I impart to you, the expression of the knowledge will take place within you. Because a person who learns this knowledge and even conducts the rituals, the physical individuality is going to be left here when he goes to heaven. Who is going to the heaven? Not the gross body. It is a subtle body which goes. So where does the knowledge be? Even though physically rituals you are doing, but if you do not have the correct understanding of it in Nihitam Guhayam, in his buddhi, you will not experience that heaven. So in other words, just before we conclude, this Swarga Prapti is where the individual loses his individual identity and identified with Virata Purusha. This Virata Purusha, the cosmic person identification, is called Swarga Prapti, where the individual is no more an individual. He is experiencing the oneness with the totality. We'll see more of it in the next session. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhat Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.